You're driving to work, someone cuts you off, and suddenly you're gripping the wheel in absolute rage. That one minor offense has the power to sour your entire afternoon. This graph shows the biological reality of that anger. When you're triggered, your brain floods your body with stress chemicals. But that chemical flush naturally works its way entirely out of your system in exactly 90 seconds. So why do we stay mad for hours? We keep that anger alive far past its expiration date by replaying the story in our heads and rehearsing our comebacks. It's like having a smoke alarm that goes off when you burn toast, but instead of opening a window, you just keep making more toast. We tell ourselves that other people know exactly how to push our buttons. This assumes we are passive remote controls, and the people around us possess a magical power to dictate our feelings. Since an external trigger only guarantees a 90-second physiological reaction, everything after that is up to you. Sustaining your anger is an internal choice, not a mandatory sentence handed down by someone else. Those buttons people push only work because they are connected to something deeper. Usually, they are wired straight into unhealed wounds or past violations of your values. When someone triggers you, they are actually showing you exactly where you still need to heal. Trace your external triggers backward to the center. Knowing these landmines allows you to step around them. Anger functions as a psychological security guard handling incoming threats. Underneath that aggressive posture, it simply shields you from experiencing hurt, fear, or shame. If you bypass the security guard and address the underlying emotion directly, the dynamic shifts. Acknowledging that you felt forgotten gets a much different response than yelling about a missed anniversary. Name the hurt, and the anger naturally dissipates. Between every external trigger and your internal reaction, there is a microsecond of space. The psychiatrist Viktor Frankl called this the choice point. Frankl identified this psychological freedom while imprisoned in a Nazi concentration camp. No matter the external circumstances, you retain the ability to choose your response. You can expand that microsecond of space by activating your observer self. Instead of being swept away by a sudden rush of frustration, you watch the emotion rise and fall like passing weather patterns. You notice the irritation without becoming it. We also have to interrupt the narratives our minds automatically generate. You do not react to reality itself. You react to your interpretation of it. Interpreting a short email as rejection leads to anxiety. Seeing it as them being busy leads to curiosity. By expanding that microsecond choice point and questioning your automatic narrative, you stop being a victim of circumstance. You step in as the conscious editor of your own reality. You can apply this same shift to the people who challenge you most. Think of difficult people as your emotional personal trainers. A micromanaging boss or passive-aggressive neighbor provides the exact resistance required to build your resilience and practice your boundaries. Healthy boundaries are not impenetrable walls designed to keep everyone out. They are clear gates, and you are the gatekeeper. You simply decide what you will and won't accept into your space. When a situation gets overwhelming, you can use a strategic withdrawal. Stepping away for 5 minutes gives your nervous system time to reset and brings your prefrontal cortex back online. Asking for a pause is an act of wisdom, not weakness. This also applies when you're supporting a loved one in crisis. Through compassionate distance, you can keep your heart open to their pain without absorbing their stress as your own. You throw them a life preserver, but you don't jump in and drown with them. These external frameworks protect your own emotional energy. By setting the terms of engagement, you preserve your capacity to actually help people, rather than burning yourself out in the heat of their drama. Transformation becomes your new normal through consistent practice, not perfection. Instead of overhauling your entire life today, pick a single technique and use it for 1 week. Every time you intercept a trigger and find your choice point, you are physically rewiring the default pathways in your brain. Small, deliberate responses gradually overwrite your old reactive habits. When you stop feeding the physiological fire, difficult people lose their leverage. You strip them of their power and secure ownership of your peace.